Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And I know that one of the things that you guys do very well at the Global Philanthropic is not just engage with sort of the Western world, but actually also do fundraising internationally, particularly in the Asia Pacific region. And we have a lot of international students in this program all over the world. Do you have any tips in terms of how to approach international fundraising in a way that maybe is a little bit more effective?
Yeah, the potential is there to absolutely transform the lives of billions of people in Asia if governments and private individuals actually get at ease about giving large gifts and giving large sums of money, and the ecosystem is right to encourage that, as it is in America. I mean, America is just a phenomenal place. And you look at the Giving Pledge, look at the amount of people that have signed it, most of them Americans. America is the gold standard. It is an incredible place in terms of giving. You know, that needs to be our gold standard, but, you know, why not apply that across the world? So that's one thought. And then final thought is about how you actually raise money there. And the biggest error people make is to think that it's the same as everywhere else. And having lived in Hong Kong, I set up a business in Hong Kong, and you know, I think I was in China five times last year before the lockdown. You know, I'm there a lot. That's mainland China, working with people. You know, people completely misunderstand how you raise money in Asia. I have a 2-word 5-hour presentation, and it just has 2 words on it. And I say, this is all you need to know about fundraising in Asia is status and face. You know, and that's difficult. When you're asking for money, what do you do? Do it face to face? Well, that's tricky. Why is the person doesn't want to give you any money? But how are they going to get out of that without embarrassing themselves or embarrassing you? So it turns everything on its head in terms of the traditional Western ways of approaching philanthropy. And status is critical. You know, if you don't ask the wealthiest person for the biggest sum of money at the beginning of the exercise, you actually never recover in terms of the way that they feel about things and the way that you can raise the other money from the other people that might feel that they are not quite of the status of that person. Yeah. So it's a weird, dark art of playing chess and working out who has the highest status. But actually, it's really good fun, but it's really complicated, and it's very easy to upset people. So if you apply Western values and theories and you go in and just start asking everyone for money, and you ask the wrong people for the wrong amount in the wrong way, what you do actually is damage philanthropy. So, you know, I'm a great advocate of really thinking very carefully about how you do work in Asia and doing it in a way that's going to help philanthropy for Asia so it helps others.
I think that's a really, really excellent point, and something to be mindful of, you know, regardless of which geography you go into. You know, you really do have to be aware of, you know, the contextual factors and, you know, who's there in the room and who's reading these messages and how they're interpreting them. So I think that's really, really, really insightful.
You know, I do a lot of coaching for CEOs and vice chancellors and fundraisers of top universities around the world on this subject. And it's even down to, you know, there's a great story I once heard about a very famous politician that arrived in, actually it was in Hong Kong, and it was a Chinese family. And the person, he was that important that the CEO, the chairman of the company, was standing at the curb when the car arrived. And, you know, that just shows, you know, so I always say to people, where's the chairman meeting you? Is it at the lift, at the bottom of the lift, at the entrance of the place? Because that reflects where your status is. And people wouldn't even be aware of it. And then they'll pile into the lift with disregard to everyone else, pushing in front of people and stuff. And it just upsets everyone without even anyone knowing it, about how you walk in the room, about how you conduct yourself. You know, it's where you sit in the room, how you conduct in the room, how you address people. All of these things are super, super important still. And it's become much more westernized in recent years, but it's so important you get that right. And it causes upset from day one. Then you can ask them money when you just upset people, you know, it's just like crazy. So it really is something that really needs to be, people need to get good advice on it.
Yeah, absolutely.